Esau learned that his father Isaac blessed Jacob and sent him away to Paddan Aram to find a wife there. He also learned that Isaac commanded Jacob not to marry a Canaanite woman. Esau learned that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and went to Paddan Aram. Esau saw from this that his father did not want his sons to marry Canaanite women. Esau already had 2 wives, but he went to Abraham's son Ishmael and married another woman, Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael. Mahalath was Nebaioth's sister. Jacob left Beersheba and went to Haran. The sun had already set when he came to a good place to spend the night. He took a rock there and laid his head on it to sleep. Jacob had a dream. He dreamed there was a ladder that was on the ground and reached up into heaven. He saw the angels of God going up and down the ladder. And Jacob saw the Lord standing by the ladder. He said, "I am the Lord, the God of your grandfather Abraham. I am the God of Isaac. I will give you the land that you are lying on now. I will give this land to you and to your children. You will have as many descendants as there are particles of dust on the earth. They will spread east and west, north and south. All the families on earth will be blessed because of you and your descendants. I am with you, and I will protect you everywhere you go. I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised." Then Jacob woke up and said, "I know that the Lord is in this place, but I did not know he was here until I slept." Jacob was afraid and said, "This is a very great place. This is the house of God. This is the gate to heaven." Jacob got up very early in the morning. He took the rock he had slept on and set it up on its edge. Then he poured oil on the rock. In this way, he made it a memorial to God. The name of that place was Luz, but Jacob named it Bethel. Then Jacob made a promise. He said, "If God will be with me, and if he will protect me on this trip, and if he gives me food to eat and clothes to wear, and if I return in peace to my father's house, if he does all these things, then the Lord will be my God. I am setting this stone up as a memorial stone. It will show that this is a holy place for God, and I will give God 1/10 of all he gives me." Then Jacob continued his trip. He went to the country in the east. He looked and saw a well in the field. There were 3 flocks of sheep lying near the well where the sheep drank water. There was a large rock covering the mouth of the well. When all the flocks were gathered there, the shepherds would roll the rock away from the well. Then all the sheep could drink from the water. After the sheep were full, the shepherds would put the rock back in its place. Jacob said to the shepherds there, "Brothers, where are you from?" They answered, "We are from Haran." Then Jacob said, "Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor?" The shepherds answered, "We know him." Then Jacob said, "How is he?" They answered, "He is well. Look, that is his daughter Rachael coming now with his sheep." Jacob said, "Look, it is still day and long before the sun sets. It is not yet time for the animals to be gathered together for the night, so give them water and let them go back into the field." But they said, "We cannot do that until all the flocks are gathered together. Then we will move the rock from the well, and all the sheep will drink." While Jacob was talking with the shepherds, Rachael came with her father's sheep. It was her job to take care of the sheep. Rachael was Laban's daughter. Laban was the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's mother. When Jacob saw Rachael, he went and moved the rock and gave water to the sheep. Then Jacob kissed Rachael and cried. He told her that he was from her father's family. He told her that he was the son of Rebekah. So Rachael ran home and told her father. When Laban heard the news about his sister's son Jacob, he ran to meet him. Laban hugged him and kissed him and brought him to his house. Jacob told Laban everything that had happened. Then Laban said, "This is wonderful! You are from my own family." So Jacob stayed with Laban for a month. One day Laban said to Jacob, "You are a relative of mine. It is not right for you to continue working for me without pay. What should I pay you?" Now Laban had 2 daughters. The older was Leah, and the younger was Rachael. Leah's eyes were gentle, but Rachael was beautiful. Jacob loved Rachael, so he said to Laban, "I will work 7 years for you if you will allow me to marry your daughter Rachael." Laban said, "It would be better for her to marry you than someone else, so stay with me." So Jacob stayed and worked for Laban for 7 years, but it seemed like a very short time because he loved Rachael very much. After 7 years, Jacob said to Laban, "Give me Rachael so that I can marry her. My time of work for you is finished." So Laban gave a party for all the people in that place. That night, Laban brought his daughter Leah to Jacob. Jacob and Leah had sexual relations together. Laban gave his maid Zilpah to his daughter to be her maid. In the morning, Jacob saw that it was Leah he had slept with, and he said to Laban, "You have tricked me. I worked hard for you so that I could marry Rachael. Why did you trick me?" Laban said, "In our country, we don't allow the younger daughter to marry before the older daughter. Continue for the full week of the marriage ceremony, and I will also give you Rachael to marry. But you must serve me another 7 years." So Jacob did this and finished the week. Then Laban gave him his daughter Rachael as a wife. Laban gave his maid Bilhah to his daughter Rachael to be her maid. So Jacob had sexual relations with Rachael also, and Jacob loved Rachael more than Leah. Jacob worked for Laban for another 7 years. The Lord saw that Jacob loved Rachael more than Leah, so he made it possible for Leah to have children. But Rachael did not have any children. Leah gave birth to a son, and she named him Reuben. She named him this because she said, "The Lord has seen my troubles. My husband does not love me, so now maybe my husband will love me." Leah became pregnant again and had another son. She named this son Simeon. She said, "The Lord has heard that I am not loved, so he gave me this son." Leah became pregnant again and had another son. She named this son Levi. She said, "Now, surely my husband will love me. I have given him 3 sons." Then Leah gave birth to another son. She named this son Judah. Leah named him this because she said, "Now I will praise the Lord." Then Leah stopped having children. Rachael saw that she was not giving Jacob any children. She became jealous of her sister Leah. So Rachael said to Jacob, "Give me children or I will die." Jacob became angry with Rachael and said, "I am not God. He is the one who has caused you to not have children." Then Rachael said, "You can have my maid Bilhah. Sleep with her, and she will have a child for me. Then I can be a mother through her." So Rachael gave Bilhah to her husband Jacob. He had sexual relations with Bilhah. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son for Jacob. Rachael said, "God has listened to my prayer. He decided to give me a son." So she named this son Dan. Bilhah became pregnant again and gave Jacob a second son. Rachael said, "I have fought hard to compete with my sister, and I have won." So she named that son Naphtali. Leah saw that she could have no more children, so she gave her slave girl Zilpah to Jacob. Then Zilpah had a son. Leah said, "I am lucky." So she named the son Gad. Zilpah gave birth to another son. Leah said, "I am very happy. Now women will call me happy." So she named that son Asher. During the wheat harvest, Reuben went into the fields and found some special flowers. He brought them to his mother Leah. But Rachel said to Leah, "Please, give me some of your son's flowers." Leah answered, "You have already taken away my husband. Now you are trying to take away my son's flowers?" But Rachel answered, "If you will give me your son's flowers, you can sleep with Jacob tonight." Jacob came in from the fields that night. Leah saw him and went out to meet him. She said, "You will sleep with me tonight. I have paid for you with my son's flowers." So Jacob slept with Leah that night. Then God allowed Leah to become pregnant again. She gave birth to a fifth son. She said, "God has given me a reward because I gave my slave to my husband." So she named her son Issachar. Leah became pregnant again and gave birth to a sixth son. She said, "God has given me a fine gift. Now surely Jacob will accept me, because I have given him 6 sons." So she named this son Zebulun. Later, Leah gave birth to a daughter. She named her Dinah. Then God heard Rachel's prayer and made it possible for Rachel to have children. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She said, "God has taken away my shame." Rachel named the son Joseph, saying, "May the Lord give me another son."